Hello, history lovers. I know as I make this, I'm going to get some backlash for this video. But if those watching this are real history lovers, they understand the purpose of this video. And so I'm going to go ahead and wish all my viewers a happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Now, if anyone's watching this and say it's Columbus Day, why have we ever celebrated Columbus? Now, what might seem to be the obvious answer is, oh, he discovered America. No. Sorry, but no, he didn't.
Can it really be called a discovery when the land was already inhabited? And what about the fact that he stumbled across South and Central America, not what we generally define as North America?
You might say, okay, I'll give you that there were other people here first. The indigenous people, hence why we celebrate today. But you might say, well, he was still the first European to discover any part of the Americas. Again, sorry, no, he was not. The Vikings were here 500 years before Columbus.
Why do we credit the discovery of the Americas by Europeans to Columbus and not the Vikings? Roughly 5 centuries before Christopher Columbus even laid eyes on American land, it was Leif Erikson, a Scandinavian Viking, who stepped onto North American soil.
So yeah, if you want to acknowledge the first Europeans coming to America, you might think about acknowledging October 9th, which in 1964 Lyndon Johnson declared to be Leif Erikson Day. Even he was like, yeah, no, Columbus didn't discover us. Now, not only did Columbus not discover anything, he was so lost he thought he was in India. Again, other people were already here. You can't really count that as discovery. And beyond that, he was extremely cruel to the indigenous people already here. David Beck, a history professor from the University of Illinois, explains that Columbus actually had a problem. He'd kidnapped so many indigenous people, he had to find something else to do with them. And that something else was not good.
And so he put them to work as slaves in mines. He hunted down the women for sport and the men for sport. He murdered them. He fed them to dogs.
So again, why do we celebrate Columbus? There is no real reason. He didn't discover anything, got lost, and by the way, he didn't prove the world was round. That was already known. All that talk about how his men were going to mutiny because they thought they were going to sail off the edge of the world, none of that is true, period. Yes, at one point people believed the world was flat, but that was before Columbus set out on his voyage. What he wanted was to get rich by finding a quick route to the Indies. He got lost, landed in a place people had already been, and was terrible to the people already living here. Now, not exactly worthy of celebration. So that's my little rant. I do plan to do more videos for Indigenous Peoples Day. I didn't really have the time to make the quality of video that I wanted to make, but I think it's high time that people realize there is simply no reason to celebrate Columbus. There was nothing that set him apart as a moral person or as a discoverer of anything. I remember when I was a kid, I was told, oh, he brought Christianity to the New World. If Christianity is enslaving people, hunting them down, and using them to dig mines, yeah, sure, we'll call it that. Yeah. So, bottom line, to me, even though it hasn't been federally recognized, this is Indigenous Peoples Day. I am very proud to be part Cherokee, and I will continue to celebrate this day as Indigenous Peoples Day. And I hope that more history of the people who were already here long before Columbus will be celebrated. Until next time, take care.